We've been talking about America a lot in the first quarter of this show. Let's bring it back to the domestic picture when it comes to the threat of terrorism. Do you think that what's gone on in Afghanistan with the Taliban taking over the country, has that now increased the potential for a terrorist attack here in the UK?
I think, without doubt, Alex, it's a real serious concern when you look at who the Taliban are. I know they've been saying we will respect opposition, we will respect certain human rights. Even in the couple of weeks we've had forming their government, we're not really seeing that. Reports are coming out from Afghanistan of how the Taliban are treating from female protests, those who they consider been helping Western states, grabbing hold of people, even carrying out executions. And the trouble for the Taliban, I think we have gone back 20 years, fortunately. And I think the other factor on that is we have three factions, if you like. The Taliban, we've already mentioned Al-Qaeda. And, we can go back to the fact that Al-Qaeda and the Taliban sort of have very, very similar outlook. And the Taliban tolerated Al-Qaeda because the fight, when we were fighting the Soviet Union in the 80s, the Al-Qaeda were predominantly foreign fighters. They came from Arabic countries, and Osama bin Laden obviously was one of them. And they fought with the Mujahideen. But the other factor, of course, is Islamic State in the Khorasan province. They've been there since 2015, and they've been very active targeting US, UK targets, as well as Taliban. They've been fighting them for 6 years now. So, of course, we do know that Kabul, the bomb that went off the airport, was down to Islamic State. So, that makes it unstable. And, it was interesting listening to Niall before, and I try not to point fingers at politicians. I try and keep a pragmatic view of we deal with what we've got. But I'm sorry, but I think President Joe Biden got it absolutely the wrong way round. They've now got American armament, just like in 1989, the Taliban had Soviet Union armament. It is a big cause of concern. It will inspire other Islamists around the world, including the UK and the rest of Europe, to either join them over in Afghanistan, because no doubt, there's a part civil war going on in the Peshawar Valley at the moment, but, join that cause. And obviously the other factor that concerns me is how they can inspire individuals to carry out attacks, and that concerns me for the UK.
And people often don't realise quite how many number of terrorist plots are actually intercepted by our security services, by our intelligence agencies, and prevented. And it's a remarkable number. But what about some of our schemes, such as Prevent, that are there, that exist to try and de-radicalise people or prevent grooming potential lone wolf terrorist attackers? Do you think we have robust enough systems in place today to stem any potential attack that could happen over here?
Well, talking about the Prevent strategy, it's a lot different to the one that was, if you like, Mark 1, that was initially introduced, that only dealt with the Islamist ideology. It now deals with all forms of extremism. Also, you look at the statutory changes. There's a statutory responsibility on those in education, from childcare up to my colleagues at university, the criminal justice system, the health system. So it's a multi-agency approach. It's a completely different beast now compared to what it was when it was first introduced. It's about helping the vulnerable being drawn towards terrorism. It's safeguarding, in particular, and lots of those vulnerable are children and young people who extremists have been working hard. We mentioned before the online factor, at drawing these people into their cause and inspiring them. That's the problem we've had with quite a few lone actors carrying out attacks. You look at Reading last year in June. He was inspired. We go to 2017, Westminster Bridge, London Bridge, Borough Market. These were all inspired. They were not given a direct order by Islamic State. They were inspired by that cause. And I think that is the problem we got. But Prevent is working hard at it. But of course, it has got such for some communities, such a bad image because of what it was originally. It was seen as targeting Muslims. It's not. It deals with all forms of extremism, and but only applies in Britain. It doesn't apply to Northern Ireland. And of course, when we talk about terror in the UK, we've had to deal with terrorism for many, many years because we had the Troubles, obviously the Irish Troubles, and that's still, you've got now the new IRA, the INLA is still active, and the Loyalists, and of course the British Protocol issue. There's a political wrangling at the moment with the DUP looking to pull out of things. It's a bit of a concern in Northern Ireland as well at the moment. So let's not forget we have that conflict on our doorstep as well. So, all round for our security services, counter-terrorism policing, there's an enormous task coming ahead of them, and I don't envy them that task one bit.
If you were to summarise where the terror threat level is right now in the UK, are we on green, are we on amber, or are we on red?
Well, we're on substantial, so an attack is likely, but it would not surprise me if in the coming months, certainly with developments in Afghanistan, we go back to severe, which an attack is highly likely. You won't go to level 4. Last time we were there was the Manchester Arena bombing because it was imminent because there were big concerns, those who were helping Salman Abedi. But level 3, severe, is the one that we've been at for many years, and it won't surprise if we go back there in the coming months.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.